Again, so we're just going to go straight live.
Okay, we're live. All right. Hello.
We've been
everybody.
live for 39 seconds.
No, I have 1 second.
Mine says 46, 7, 8,
Should we?
9. You want to end it and restart?
No, whatever. I don't know.
Good day,
I think yours is wrong.
Buffalo. And folks, it is December 22nd, 2022. And you know what that means? Santa comes soon. You know what else it means? Snowmageddon.
Yeah.
Yeah, Snowmageddon is coming.
It's
And
coming.
we're all going to die.
Yeah, you didn't know that.
Yeah, I heard from many different newscasters, sportscasters, mastercasters.
Yeah, they're all saying the same thing.
Yeah, but okay, so let's start with this because when is it supposed to actually hit? Because I've had
Friday.
a million different. I feel like I've heard it a million different ways between Thursday and Friday.
Friday night.
Tomorrow night.
Yeah, but they're gonna start preliminary, their travel. Like there's not gonna be a travel ban, but there's gonna be like a state of emergency for all of Erie County and all that stuff.
Oh,
It's
there's
starting at 7 a.m. tomorrow.
Well, there's been
Friday.
a blizzard warning. I know that.
Yes,
been
but
put in place.
Well, that's different. But they put a place. Mark Poloncarz put a state of emergency for all of Erie County, and then Byron Brown did a state of emergency for Buffalo. But there's a state of emergency in all of Erie County. So, but then but that starts at 7 a.m.
7 a.m.
And then it's
so
starting,
only emergency personnel.
Well, there's no travel ban.
No travel ban.
He said he's gonna, if he needs to enforce one, he will, but he's expecting people to stay home because he's telling people to stay home.
To
but
stay
that's not
home
gonna
2
work.
days before Christmas.
Yeah, that's not going to work.
That's not going to work, Mark. We're going to tell him that. So, yeah, I still have to work too. Michael.
I don't. I'm off.
How come yours has are you Wi? No, I'm Wi-Fi. I don't know. Your Wi-Fi is like you have a Wi-Fi thing in your.
Yeah, because it's like it's just like a week. I don't know.
It's weak.
Yeah, I don't know why.
The Ukraine is weak. Sure. Oh wait, that's a Seinfeld joke, not actual world happenings joke. So
you want to talk some football?
Let's talk some football. So it's going to be really snowy in Chicago.
Oh, okay. We're going to talk about yeah.
So the Bills flew out today,
right?
Allegedly, I didn't hear whether they actually did or not.
They did. They had to. They said they were going to today.
Okay, so the Bills flew out today. Very happy, joyous times in Buffalo. So let's talk about last week. Actually, last week was fun.
Yeah, here's the weirdest thing about the whole thing is I never felt nervous. Like I never thought we were gonna lose. Like even when we were losing, I was like, I don't think we're gonna lose. Like I don't think we're gonna. I don't know. I just never felt like that fear that grips me.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, I should have because they were leading late in the third.
Yeah.
And into the fourth, but I don't know. I was just like in the back of my mind, I was just like, they got this. That's kind of the way I felt.
They got this. Boom.
What do you think?
I wasn't feeling that way. Especially when Miami made their third quarter run.
Yeah.
Well, and I guess with the way Waddle played, that was part of it. I think that made me a little bit nervous.
Yeah, he just he showed up when it mattered.
Tyreek didn't.
Yeah, but I mean, I mean, what's the thing? I mean, the thing I've been saying was like, I think that they can win out, but I don't think every single win's going to be pretty. I don't think they're going to blow out these teams. They're going to consistently do this, what they did in the beginning of the season.
Right.
But in the end, they'll win. And that's kind of the way I feel so far. And honestly, this game gave me even more confidence in the offense, in my opinion. Because I mean, to be able to, I mean, that 7-play drive that took 2 minutes and 54 seconds to just march down the field like that, just 75 yards, you just were hitting them, you know?
Yeah. That was nice.
Yeah. I mean, Josh running, you had Josh running, you had
Well,
Josh throwing
guess-
on that drive.
I guess
and then,
you know what
and
I was
then-
thinking before that drive started though? Like I'm like, okay, can the Bills pull out a 6-minute drive? And I was like, maybe. I'm like, we've seen them do like 4.5 minute drives.
And that was the next drive to win the game. That's what
Right.
they did. And that's what championship teams do.
Right.
Like
They
can
don't give the ball back.
Right. That's what Brady did to us all the time.
Right. Do you know who's leading the league in speaking of Brady?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who's leading the league in percent of downs played?
Brady?
Yeah.
Whoa.
How'd you know that?
I just took a wild guess.
Wild guess?
Wild guess.
So he's played 1,002 downs this season.
I mean, he's
Or
probably
snaps, or whatever you want to call it.
Hmm.
And it's 100% of their offensive plays. Obviously, he doesn't play defense.
right. That makes sense.
Yeah. There's a couple other guys who have played 100%. Obviously, quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Josh on that list, he's 8th. He's played 97.5% and 938 snaps.
That's a lot of snaps.
It's a lot of snaps.
Yeah.
But it's not 1,002, you know?
Yeah. Wow. Well, he has a few more games. Though.
We can't all be Tampa.
Right. We can't all have a lot of chances to score and still somehow only put up 16 points a game. But
speaking of 16 points a game, Bills are playing Chicago.
they have an 80, according to ESPN, they have an 80.8% chance to win.
In their matchup predictor.
Yes.
And Chicago has a 19.0.
Yes. The spread is 8.
It's down to 8.
Mm-hmm.
It was at 9.5 to start.
It's probably it's probably because of what happened last game.
Or the weather.
And the weather. Yeah, right.
That's my thought, is the weather, right? So the Bills have 2 major injuries.
Mm-hmm.
Right. 2 to 4 major injuries. I don't know how you would explain.
Oh, I thought you were saying Boogie was like major. I was like, I don't know. Like he's just a rotation.
He's part of the rotation.
Yeah, true. I guess.
Right.
You're messing that
Former
up.
number 1 pick.
Morse is a little bit more important.
So Mitch Morse is out.
Yeah.
He will not be playing. We're assuming that the line is going to be Dawkins, Saffold, Bates, Bacher, and Brown.
Probably, yeah.
Why wouldn't it be Brown?
Yeah, I guess.
If it's not Bacher at right guard, it's it'll be Quisenberry.
Right. Yeah.
Right? Because that's what they did last game.
Yes.
But I'm assuming Bacher's gonna
yeah, I mean he's not on a report. He's not on any of the reports or anything. So
that's true.
I would assume he's
Have
good
they
to go.
officially called him up and added him to the roster?
Yeah, they activated him.
Okay.
So he's good.
You know what I was thinking about with Beasley? Right? You can only call guys up 4 times, right?
Mm-hmm.
Before you add them to the roster.
Yeah.
So what are they going to do if they call him up 4 times? They're going to add him to the roster, right?
I would assume, yeah.
So who is your 53rd guy? Who's the odd man out?
Cam Lewis. He's going to be the first guy to go.
Cam Lewis?
Yeah, he'll go to the practice squad.
They seem to have a thing for him, though.
Yeah, but he's just, I don't know. I mean, they do, but they don't really. I mean, I don't think he played it pretty majorly in the last game. So, yeah, I think Josh will. Grandma asked, "Do you think?" Yeah, Josh will play the whole game. Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
He actually said today or yesterday, I don't know, that his elbow is the best it's felt ever.
Ever?
Yep. It's amazing. Oh yeah, so they tweeted that they
Landed.
left.
Oh,
That
they left.
So they left.
So they're in the air during the.
Well, we
ice
don't know if they're
bomb.
in the air right now, but
during the ice bomb.
yeah, right.
Or the cold bomb.
But I mean, like, okay, so realistically, I mean, do the Bears have any chance? I mean,
yes, they do. And as we talked about with injuries, right? Boogie Basham's out.
Right.
So I was counting the
Phillips questionable.
Phillips is questionable.
Ed Oliver questionable.
Ed Oliver is questionable. Those are really the guys who we're worried about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone else is pretty okay.
Yep.
Right. The Bears have two guards. Their two starting guards are hurt and are out.
And Tevin Jenkins is also doubtful. So they're tackle.
He's their starting tackle.
Yep.
Okay, so that's not good for the Bears if you're them, but they're gonna win if Justin Fields outruns our guys, right?
Right.
Because I mean that's what it's gonna come down to.
It's just gonna go. I mean, it's just right. I mean, you just can't let him score touchdowns. I mean, I know that sounds stupid, and obviously that's what you want to do. But I mean, he's gonna get his yards, and that's the thing. You know, it's like it's the way I feel when they play Miami. Either Tyreek Hill or Jalen Waddle are gonna have the deep shot, and it's gonna come at some point, and you know it's gonna happen. That's the way I feel about this game. As long as they don't let Justin Fields run 90-yard touchdowns every single drive, it'll be fine. You know, he likes the contact. He's not he's a semi slider. So, you know, if he doesn't go for the slide and he wants the contact, make him earn it. Hit him, you know, make him, you know,
he's like a hybrid.
Make him earn the yards.
He's a hybrid between like Josh and Lamar Jackson, right?
Yeah. I would say he's like the Walmart version of Lamar. Like just
what store is Lamar?
Like I don't know, top
brand,
top shelf. Yeah, he's top shelf liquor, and you know,
he's Mike's or something.
Yeah, he's top shelf liquor, and Lamar's top shelf liquor, and you know, Justin Fields is the liquor that they serve regularly to everybody else. We don't have to do it, you know. I mean, yes, obviously, if they're going to let him run all over the place, and you know they're going to keep control of the ball, and it's somehow going to be like a 14-7 game, which I think is exactly what they want. Obviously, is to keep us off the field. But I don't know. I mean, eventually, if we're able to like at least convert a little bit, which I think we'll be able to do, because I don't see.
Oh man. Uh-oh. What does that mean? If you're here, you've won a prize. One of you. Keep up. Someone we know, and you're already getting a present from us or whatever, then otherwise, you know, you have won a prize. So tell us if you're here, and if you're not here, you're getting something from us, Mike. So we have T-shirts and we have Funko Pops. Funko. See, the snowman's awesome. Krabs Patty thinks it's great.
Okay.
We like the snowman as well. It looks like nobody's winning anything at this 15 minutes. So, no, you can't have the snowman. Okay, so Justin Fields is Mike's Hard Lemonade compared to like top shelf liquor,
yeah.
Like Smirnoff or something. Like sure. I don't know what's top shelf. Yeah. Like I don't
expensive. It's really expensive.
Really expensive. So like Cristal or something.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Okay, that was all the rage in the 90s.
I mean, he doesn't. I don't see them keeping up. That's the thing. Because I mean, like, if they're gonna rely on his legs, it's gonna take a lot of time. And like, if they're able to stop them,
Okay, so here's how if you're the Bears, this is how you win, right? This is kind of where we started.
Mhm.
This is how you win. You you pass the ball 3 times,
right?
right? Um, and then you ask your defense to step up and play like crazy. Now, right? They traded Roquan Smith.
Mhm.
They got rid of what's his face.
Mhm.
Uh,
Robert Quinn.
right. And so Roquan Smith's replacement, I think, was Sanborn or something, and he was playing out of his mind,
And he's on IR.
and he was put on IR. So they're now down to their third string,
Joe Thomas.
like the tackle, the former tackle for the Browns.
No, he's in his 8th season. He's from South Carolina State. He
Well, that's
has
right. I almost
12.
picked him up for our fantasy
He
league.
has 12 tackles this year and 1 sack. 28 tackles and 1 sack.
Yeah, give him some respect.
Yeah.
No, he had
Put some
12
respect on
tackles
the
last game, right?
No, he has 12 solo tackles on the total of the year. So, I mean, I just don't see. The problem is I don't, if Jalen Johnson's questionable, so that would be good if he doesn't end up playing, but I just don't see also the DBs being able to keep, like, I can see this being a big Diggs game. Like, Diggs just, like, being the magician that he is, finding the spots, always being
Running the
open.
routes.
Like remember when they played, I think it was the Seattle game last year,
Mhm.
and he just was, like, running routes like crazy and was just, like, always open. That's what I can see happening in this game. Like, I don't see any of Chicago's DBs except maybe Jaquan Brisker, but you're not gonna take a safety.
Brisker is half hurt. I think he's playing on one leg or something. He had a hamstring. Um, he's probably not. I don't know if he's on their injury report or not, but last week he was.
Mhm.
He was questionable. He almost didn't play. Um, but that's my other part. Khalil Herbert is back.
Yeah.
They're activating him. So you run Fields, you run Montgomery, you run Herbert, and then you pray that you can, you know,
Yeah, I mean, if we make mistakes, obviously, that will be the
you
difference.
check down to your tight end 100 times out of 100
Yeah. I mean,
if you're Fields. And
oh, I thought you were talking about Josh. I mean, yeah, I mean, this is
this could be a big Knox game, definitely.
Yeah, because I'm saying if you're Josh, I think you don't have to score insanely fast, but I just think if you just keep scoring, like, even if it's field goals, just keep just getting down there, just keep putting the pressure on Chicago to match you, and that's how you get them out of the
do you
run.
think they're going to go for a field goal?
Us?
Yeah, because
I
it's
think
supposed to be like minus 10 degrees, right?
mm,
And again, wicked windy.
well, I don't know. I think you can trust Bass. I think you try it. You let Bass try it, and then if, like, he misses wildly, then you're like, "Okay, no, we're not doing it." But, I mean,
I think this could be the kind of
he
game
has
where you
said,
go for 2 on touchdowns where you don't even
I mean,
bring
yes,
out Bass.
they've
Except
never played. I don't think they've ever played in Chicago, but, I mean, he said that out of, all
I don't know,
this
not never, but
no,
like
this team,
this
this group,
McDermott
yeah,
and to current.
I don't know if McDermott's never played in Chicago, but at least this group that we have now, they've never played together, like, except, like, Diggs, obviously, stuff like that, but, like,
Right.
Josh has never played in Chicago,
Yeah, that's what I
all
mean.
those guys.
Like the
So,
McDermott
yeah.
conglomerate or whatever.
So, but I mean, I think you can attempt it with that. I mean, he kicks in our stadium. He says how difficult it is to kick in our stadium,
Right.
wind or no wind. And he says, he goes to other stadium and he's like, this is a breeze. He's like, it's nothing like ours. So,
Right.
I mean, I know he's never
Still Soldier Field.
That's I know.
I mean,
that's what I was gonna say. I know it's still Soldier Field, and I know it's still that. But I think he should at least have the confidence to be like, well, maybe I can hit one from like 25.
Well,
But
I mean,
then again, that's what the pregame warm-ups are for.
right.
So
I mean, I guess that's how you judge it.
Yeah.
Right. And then especially during the game, they'll tell us 85 times.
look at the flags on top of the stadium, but you got to really
Well,
look
no,
at the
that's
flags.
the Bills.
I know.
That's the Bills. But they'll tell us like 85 times where the kickers were able to make it from.
Right.
And where they weren't.
Right.
So we'll definitely know,
Mhm.
you know, that kind of thing. And
I think you obviously got to really you got to hope Oliver and Phillips can play, or at least one of them can, because they're both.
I think you want both.
I think you want out of the two of them. I think you want Oliver because I think he can get there faster. But I think you do want both. I think you want because
I don't know.
Tevin Jenkins is their guard. It's both of their guards that are doubtful for this game. So I mean, if there's one place you want to pressure, but that was the other thing.
Well, Phillips is an up the middle pressure guy too.
That's what I was saying. So I mean, that's their guard spell.
So I was having a conversation today on Twitter, and one of the things that they talked about was one of the guys who I was talking to. He said he wanted the Bills to come out in a 4-3 and play AJ Klein instead of coming out in the 5-2 or 4-2-5 and playing Taron Johnson. No. Where do you stand on that?
No, because I'm not trusting AJ Klein to be an every down linebacker. Like that's not. First of all, that's not what he's here for. Second of all, that's not how he's used. Like not even on this team. That's not. He's not an every down linebacker. Because he's just not fast enough either.
Klein?
Yeah.
I reached out to Greg Thompson because I think he's a good person from Cover One. He's somebody who I trust. I go to a lot with questions and those kind of things. So I spoke to Greg and I asked him, what do you think about this? He said, well, which one of them is going to get to the sidelines faster and at a better tackling angle?
Mm-hmm.
And obviously that's Taron Johnson.
Right.
Now, my argument with to go along with that is that despite being 50 pounds lighter than AJ Klein, Taron Johnson hits as well and tackles as well.
Yeah,
he hits like a linebacker.
Yeah, he's
right.
A linebacker.
So I'm not afraid of him getting pushed around. I mean, he's never been that. He's third on the team in tackles, I think, something like that. He's ahead of our linebackers.
Yeah, he's up there.
Yeah, I think it's Hamlin's ahead of him and Milano maybe. I don't know. But I see you're looking it up.
Fourth. Yep. Hamlin, Milano, and Edmonds are the only ones ahead of him.
Yeah, I was thinking solo tackles, I think. So
yeah, he's third in solos. And only Hamlin and Milano are ahead of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is impressive. I mean, it's impressive.
Right. So I started thinking about Hamlin and getting a little nervous, but then I think this is the perfect game for Hamlin, right? Because
they're not going to pass. I mean,
they have no receivers to pass to. They have St. Brown.
Well, he's out.
He's out?
Yeah, he's out.
I know, like, obviously.
I was just looking at
it. Yeah, Mooney went down a long time ago.
Yeah.
I can't think of other guys. Pettis, is he on their
team? Claypool's not going to play.
Right.
St. Brown is out. Yeah, there's Dante Pettis and Velais Jones, Byron Pringle, and N'Keal Harry, and then Cole Kmet, who has been his number one guy, but
right,
he started to cool off again. So
but Kmet plays. Speaking of, I mean, I was just looking at this today, so it's kind of a weird thing for me to keep bringing it up, but out of all the tight ends in the league, Kmet plays the highest percentage of downs of any tight end in the league. He plays like 97% of their plays, which I felt was like insane.
That is
an insanely high number. But I felt like that So that's why you check down. I mean, you're going to check down all day, especially if Herbert's back. You're just going to check down
I mean,
Montgomery, to Herbert, and to Komet.
They just got to keep everything in front of them. Just keep your eyes on field and just keep everything in front of them. Just make them earn, like make them march down the field. Don't make them get big plays. Don't let him. I mean, he'll run. He'll probably have a big run here and there. But it is what it's going to be.
That will be their big plays. Right.
It's just him running. It's not going to be passing. It's not going to be anything.
Right.
Like it's just going to be him running, and it's going to happen. But in the end, I just don't see them being able to keep up. That's the thing. I mean, especially when we start getting down into the red zone. I mean, this team doesn't really bend. It doesn't break. It just bends. So I just don't
bend.
See,
it doesn't break. It just bends.
Yeah, you know what I mean. It doesn't break. It just bends. Whatever. But yeah, I don't see the Chicago just being able to keep up. That's I just don't see them being able to score on us either. But it'll depend on the weather. It will, honestly. It'll depend on how. I think it'll depend on how cold it is.
I think if they try to throw anything intermediate, the Bills are going to intercept it. You have Milano there. Edmonds is going to try to intercept it. He'll either go through his hands, and the Bears will make an amazing catch.
Yeah, I mean, you had Trey White last game who played every single snap and played out of his mind.
Great. He played great.
Like he looked like he
looked like
back. Yeah. So I mean, that also gives me supreme confidence.
I'll give you that.
For that too.
I'll give you that.
I mean, this might be a really low-scoring game, but this might be a defensive struggle because of the weather. But I think in the end, our defense prevails.
Who do you think is better, Montgomery or Singletary?
I think Montgomery.
You think so?
Yeah.
Like if you could trade Singletary for Montgomery, you would do it?
Yeah, because I think Montgomery would
flourish in this offense.
Yeah.
Well, he's a free agent at the end of the season. So,
yeah, there you go.
All
right.
So is Singletary. So maybe you're swapping.
Maybe.
But I think I guess here's the difference between, for me, right? Josh, when we were talking about high class or high end quarterbacks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Josh is above Cristal, whatever we want to say there.
Yeah, he's an alien. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Unicorn,
he's
whatever. Yeah, he's unicorn corn dropping.
What? Okay. I don't even want to know where you're going with that. Anyway.
No, like drops. Oh, teardrops from a unicorn that turns into alcohol.
Okay.
That is the greatest alcohol you've ever had in your life.
Yeah, that's Josh Allen.
That's Josh
Allen.
That's
the Josh Allen experience for
That is the Josh Allen experience. Speaking of the Josh Allen experience, he made the Pro Bowl.
Yes.
So did 3 other players.
Yes.
Can you name them?
Stephon Diggs, Jordan Poyer, and Mitch Morse.
Very good.
Woo-hoo. And then we had like a bunch of alternates too.
2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
Yeah.
I'm like 4th level alternates.
And 5th for Saran Neal on special teams.
Oh, good.
So just in case they have to get down to the 5th guy,
Right, but he'll be playing in the Super Bowl, so it won't matter.
Right.
But so Allen, the unicorn, he can run through this, right? Whatever the weather is, he can run through it.
Right.
He can throw through it.
Yes.
So I guess that goes back to your point of maybe what we were even talking about. I don't know if we were on the air or not yet, but
stupid mistakes
that they're going to win.
Yeah.
By a lot.
Yeah.
In the end.
Yeah, I have a feeling.
Unless injuries happen or something crazy.
I mean, it's gonna be. I think they end up winning by a lot unless Josh just keeps turning the ball over or I don't know. They just can't stop Justin Fields and he's running for 90-yard touchdown. But I just don't see that happening. It just the matchups don't make sense for it to be competitive because it's we should be able to just march down the field on these guys and score at will like no problem. Like it might take 10 plays, but like they're gonna score. And then I just don't see Justin Fields and this offense being able to use the rushing attack the entire game against us. Because eventually we'll sell out for the run. I mean, we'll do that. And then that'll force them to throw. And who the heck is he going to throw to? 5 yards to Cole Kmet every play?
Yeah. Montgomery and Herbert.
Just keep it in front. Just as long as you keep it in front of you, they're not going to go anywhere.
Spread the field. Spread it horizontally instead of vertically.
Yeah. Just keep it all in front of you. Just don't let them. Don't like we were saying. Justin Fields will get his big plays, but in the end, nothing else should happen. Really, like there's no wide receivers for him to throw to. Cole Kmet is still at tight end, so he's not going to be able to do what wide receiver.
And he's slow,
right? And then you can
our
only
guys can catch him.
CJ.
Oh, there's the man, the myth.
You're gonna get hooked up.
Give us a moment while we invite CJ to the dance.
But cool, he can add his insight. Now, here we go.
Lack thereof. Hello. No one can hear me.
We're getting there.
I can hear you.
All right.
So we're talking about Bills Bears, and we're kind of at the point where we think the game's not going to be close, but Justin Fields will probably have big rushing plays. But as long as the Bills keep it in front of them, they shouldn't really be able to keep up with us. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I feel as though so there's like few scenarios that go in my head. There's the scenario where AJ Klein plays mostly linebacker and they take Taron out. And that situation would worry me more than if Taron was in. So that's one scenario. Like I would hate for them to just play Klein the whole game. If that happens, I think that, it'll be closer than people expected. I also could see Fields going off for like 150 something yards or something stupid. That's another scenario I have in my head. And then I could see a blowout and, we are just 3 phases better than them, which we are. And, we actually play like it against a team that is not of the same, caliber.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I got. That's pretty much how I could see it going. There's a lot different.
Shoot.
But
that's true. The Bills do like to play down to the caliber of their opponent instead of playing to how well they actually are.
They didn't in the beginning of the year, though.
That's true.
No, 100%.
Right?
100%. I mean, the Rams were terrible, right? You seeing now, we should have crushed them the way we did. Like obviously they've lost a lot of guys in the last couple of weeks, but we definitely did what we were supposed to do in those games early on. I just feel like it's been an issue for the years, like, for the past 3 years, where it's like we go into these games that we're supposed to win, and I don't know if the team just overlooks it or looks the next week or whatever, but
but
Dolphins.
But yeah, I mean, I think in the end though that I just don't like I was saying, the matchups don't make sense. Like, their 2 starting guards are doubtful.
They're out.
They're out.
The 2 starting guards for the Giants for the Bears are out, and their starting left tackle is doubtful.
Oh, that's good. Because we're going to be down who on the line besides Basham?
Yeah, Basham's out. Basham's out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, is anybody else not looking good?
Phillips and Oliver.
Okay, so that's going to be like null then, I guess, if they're not playing. I guess your tackles are more your outside, so I guess it's more your DNs you need.
Another thought I had was, they've been blitzing Milano and Edmonds at a pretty high rate. They did that very successfully against Tua last week. I feel like they could do that again. Like, because the thing they seem to like to do when they send both of them is like one hesitates and then the other one takes the block. So if one is able to get Fields to move, the other one should just be able to come around and clamp that down.
I'll say one thing that gives me confidence going into this game, and it's the fact that like how well we've done against Lamar Jackson in the past. It's just because I feel like, I mean, obviously, like the first couple of times we've seen them, like we got crushed by it. But like the more recent, I think we played them 3 times, including playoffs last year and this year, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And those 3 times we held him in check, in my opinion. And I think that means we understand how to kind of stop that like elite runner, as a quarterback, and I think we just, again, the depth is huge. If you get too deep and you let him go up under you, he'll kill you because, he's going to be sending guys and there's going to be a lot of room. So there's that. I mean, I think that bodes well. Gives me confidence. We can hold Lamar. I think Fields is pretty similar. I mean, they're different, but like their running
Fields is a
style.
foot and a half taller or something, right?
Yeah, but their running
mean,
styles are kind of
A
similar.
foot, no.
They're like
No, but
super
I mean,
elite.
I think that makes a difference just in the idea that durability. Right.
Which one?
Well, just being taller. I think
Yeah.
we've had this talk about Lamar's durability, right? And
Yeah.
whether he's durable or not,
Yeah.
it's like he doesn't seem as durable as.
Oh,
just
it's
wears out
funny.
of position.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because we had that conversation and then he missed 3 weeks.
Right. Right.
Doesn't bode well for his durability. I think Fields. I mean, I'm just saying like the level of runner they both are. Like they're both probably, top as far as running ability in the NFL as at a quarterback position.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Josh is a totally different kind of runner.
No, yeah, that's not the. Okay, so put them next to each other on a field. You know what I'm saying? And who's running faster? Like,
right, Fields is.
I can tell you it ain't Josh.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. It's just a different. It's like an elite runner, whereas Josh to me is like a great runner, but he's more like he's so physical. He just
Uh-oh.
Did we freeze or did he freeze?
I don't know.
We're still counting. CJ, you froze on us.
Oh no.
What?
He froze. I think he's gone. Well.
You think what?
I'll remove him for now until I see him move down there. But anyway.
You want to text him and let him know?
Yeah.
So CJ brought up a lot of good points. One point I wanted to bring up with him, and I'll wait, is about the AJ Klein point. I don't want to say I zoned out, but I was having some technical difficulties myself while he was making the AJ Klein point.
Well, he was saying, oh, there he is.
Cool.
Right.
There we go.
No worries. We're having Wi-Fi issues ourselves. So
yeah.
It's a great day. So I kind of missed your AJ Klein point.
Oh, my AJ Klein point was just I worried that they would play him more than they would like put Taryn in, and I worry a little bit about having Klein playing most of the snaps.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about that too. I think. Sorry, my wife sneezes really loud. So.
Oh, I thought it was a dog barking. No, nope. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that.
That's why we laugh. Just
my mother's the same way. My mother's like, you can hear from across like I'm telling you, like like down the hallway. Like
she was
so
upstairs, so she was up a whole different level.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So yeah, we were talking about this because we talked about the AJ Klein, Taron Johnson thing on our chat a little bit earlier, and I was
Yeah.
saying how an argument was given to me about or a good counterpoint, I guess, for Taron Johnson was who's gonna be able to make fields more horizontal, instead of vertical, and and who would come in at the right tackling angle. So it was really about speed and who would be able to get to him quicker and tackle at a better angle, and that's Taron to me. Would be able to spread them out, and then I think you could use Klein in a heavier set, maybe. Like if you're along goal
If you
line,
think they're not going to run fields,
if you think they're not going to
Yeah.
run fields, or
red zone packages, obviously that kind of stuff. I mean, I think they'll play him, but I think Teron is the smarter choice.
he'll get more snaps than he probably usually does. But I think it also depends on the health of the defensive line. That's why like we said earlier, like we hope at least one of them plays. I hope
Yeah.
they both play. But if either of them play, you said you want it to be Oliver, and I would prefer Phillips to play. I just think Phillips. I know this sounds weird. I think Phillips is more of a game wrecker in the sense of.
I mean, Oliver's just been on fire recently. He's been.
Well, Phillips has just been out, but
yeah, I know. But
the thing that Oliver does is push quarterbacks out of the pocket, and I don't know that we want that. We want someone to contain, right?
Yeah. Well, that's why you hope you set the edge, and that's why I think you're hoping that Edmonds and Milano just keep playing at this insane level as well. I think it'll just come down to us being more disciplined, us just not making stupid mistakes, not doing dumb things, tackling the first time, not the fifth time.
Well, and that was the other point, right? Is Chicago has, and with Herbert coming back for Chicago, I mean, we think Chicago's just going to check down all day, right? They're going to. Cole Kmet has played the most snaps of any tight end in the league this year. And then they're going to check down to Herbert and Montgomery, right? I mean, they're both pretty good receiving backs. So, that was kind of our thought here. All
right.
So, do you have concerns about the weather? I mean, it's supposed to be -11. We were talking about Bass being able to kick, and that kind of thing.
Do we lose him here?
What are your thoughts there, CJ? You froze again.
There we go.
I guess you unfroze.
The weather, I mean, I don't know. I mean, how bad is it supposed to be? I guess I didn't really
It's supposed
see.
to be -11.
Oh wow.
And windy and potential snow.
Yeah, they're gonna get hit with the same thing.
Cole Beasley game.
I was thinking this might be a big Diggs game.
Noah was saying a Diggs game. Diggs knows Soldier Field, from his Minnesota days.
But also their secondary isn't that good. And it kind of reminded me of, I was saying to, my dad, it reminded me of the Seattle game from last year where Diggs just ran these pristine routes because none of the DBs could keep up with them. None of the DBs could cover them. And I could see that happening again.
Yeah, for sure. I think, I mean, I don't know. Is it supposed to be windy or no?
It's always windy in Chicago, right?
All right. So
21.
Yeah. Interesting. I wonder if they run Josh Moore tomorrow. Or on
what about Saturday?
Yes, I meant.
um,
Like one day off.
it's all good.
Had to get him.
It's all good.
That's
But yeah.
So,
Prediction.
uh-oh. What is going on? You know what this means, folks?
Oh, nice.
Noah absolutely hates this thing. So, that means it's giveaway time. If you are here and you are not Travis Patty and you are not my mom, then identify yourself and you will win a prize. And it's fairly good. You'll
The
have your choice.
snowman.
No, you don't win the snowman. The snowman was a nice find that we found one year. We found that a lot of people don't have it, and it's kind of cool to have. So, but yeah, we have something. If you, like I said, if you're on YouTube and you want to give us your handle, we will contact you. If you put your handle on and say, I have been watching for a while now, your Twitter handle, sorry. And if you're not here or you don't want to do that and a prize doesn't mean much to you, then we understand. So predictions for Chicago.
34-17.
34. You were just telling me it was going to be low scoring.
I think it could be, but I just don't think it will. I mean, there's a chance because of the weather, but like I was saying, I mean, if they're able to execute and they don't do anything dumb, which shouldn't be that hard because like Chicago's defense is okay, but it's not good enough.
It's not okay.
Yeah, like it's not good. It's bad. It's so they shouldn't be able to keep up with
their
us.
defense is ranked 32nd in the league.
Well, then there you go. It shouldn't be able
their
to keep
running
up with
offense is ranked first in the league.
Yeah.
Keep
it in front of you.
Prediction, CJ.
32 to 16.
All right.
Buffalo, obviously.
Oh, mine was Chicago. I'm just kidding.
Oh,
I know, right? Yeah, you gotta make sure you specify.
Yeah.
I'll go with 24-0.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Impressive. Wow.
How about that?
I'm
actually I was
surprised.
gonna go with 24-2 because that's the kind of thing that the Bills would do.
Get a safety. Yeah.
Is end up with a safety.
I agree.
But then it was just kind of like, nah, I'll stick with
a shutout.
I'll stick with a shutout.
I'm good with that.
The Bills will kick the ball out of bounds this time. Oh no, that would be a safety.
That would be, yeah.
If Chicago kicked the ball out of bounds, that wouldn't be, right? It would be a touchback.
Right.
Okay.
Gonna write that down.
Rule learned.
Things I learned about football today.
Yes. So, 2 Sabres games have been canceled.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not canceled. Temporarily put on hold.
Yeah, the Lightning game got moved.
The game that they were supposed to play against the Lightning got moved to March 9th.
Mm-hmm.
the game on March 9th got moved to
January or February.
something. And that was against the Flyers. So,
Next game they have is in 5 days against Blue Jackets. in
which
Columbus.
gives the Sabres a nice rest,
Yes.
actually, at a really good point, because the Sabres are really on the upswing, but they do have some injured guys. They have, I think, 3 or 4 on the back end still hurt. Samuelson.
Yeah, they're just it's recovering. So I mean, yeah, definitely.
No, but it'll be good to get these guys
rest. Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Now, let's talk about Tage. Let's talk about Tage.
Yeah, 50 points in 32 games.
50 points in 32 games.
26 goals, 2 behind McDavid for lead in the league.
Scoring every game.
Yeah.
Pretty much. When's the last time he hasn't scored? Like, what's his point streak? I don't even know. But it's got to be
10 games, maybe.
Well, there's a 0.
Oh.
Against Pittsburgh.
So he's on a
5-game point streak. But
before that, he was on a
21 points in his last 10 games.
Yeah, that's just insane.
Yeah. So, including obviously that 6-point game,
which is wild. That game was wild.
But even if you took that away, 15 points in his last 10 games would still be incredibly impressive.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Tage Thompson,
especially that it's been like goals mostly too.
Tage Thompson has turned into one of the best players in the league.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Can we say that confidently and that he'll stay there?
Yeah, I mean, he's projected for 128 points.
Right.
67 goals, 62 assists. Jesus.
So, yeah. He's going to cool off.
Yeah.
Right? But I would be surprised if he doesn't top 100. Right? The last guys who topped 100 were LaFontaine and Mogilny in 1992.
And he keeps setting a lot of records with them.
And that was Mogilny's 50-goal season.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I could see him getting to 50 goals. Easy.
Yeah, he's the center, which makes it even more impressive.
There's 50 games left.
50 games left to get
24 goals.
4 goals?
Just to get to 50, yeah.
I think he can do that.
Yeah.
I mean, he's gotten 26 and 32.
Right.
So,
well, I mean, the other thing about it though, and it's not just that like he's good. It's that it seems like it's not obviously it's clicking, but there is something that he knows how to do. Like, I don't know how to, like, the moves that he's able to make with his 6.
I'll tell you what it is.
6'5", 6'7", sorry, like frame and all that. But he also knows what the goalies are going to do.
Yes.
Like, he just knows, he's like, I got to hold it. I got to hold it now.
One of the things that's interesting about him is that he uses a short stick. Like, guys are always like talking about him using a shorter stick than someone his height would normally use. And he said it just gives him he feels like it gives him a better shot. I mean, his slap shots range between 95 and 100 almost every time. His wristers are insane. He just puts them wherever he wants to.
Yeah.
I mean, but like, and he has the drag. He has the toe drag goals. I mean, and those are the ones where you just blow your mind and you just you can't comprehend how someone does this. So compare him to Josh.
Yeah. I mean, they're both like freaks because I mean, like nobody expected this out of Tage Thompson. I mean, not this.
Well, not what is he, 26,
25.
25?
Yeah.
So we'll probably be 26 by the end of the year. So yeah, I mean that's one of the things is that most players who get this good do it early.
Mhm.
Right? They don't do it when they turn 25.
Yeah.
One of the things that I was reading on The Athletic is about how Tage Thompson is going to make a lot of GMs make a lot of mistakes because they're going to go back to drafting big guys, holding on to players too long.
Yeah, that's true.
Doing all these things where they think they can find unicorns, and the basic gist was he's a unicorn, just like Josh.
Yeah, I mean, this is just luck. I mean, this is just pure luck. I mean, in my opinion,
that we got him.
Well, that he's playing this well.
So you don't think it can last?
No, I do. I do think it can last because the things that he's able to do are insane. I mean, he has it in his repertoire. Like he's to me, he's shown enough that yeah, he is one of the premier players in the league. I mean, he's like we said, he's right behind McDavid. He's 2 goals behind McDavid for lead in the league. So, I mean, that's nothing to sniff at. And he started this last year and now he's just continuously grown into what he is now. I mean, this should be what is expected. I mean,
now,
yeah,
this is what you think. So you think he's plateaued? You think like this is his game?
Yeah, but his game.
I don't mean in a bad way.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but I was just saying, I just to clarify, like his game is at in a
you can't say the word
all-star.
I thought you were gonna say elite.
No, I was gonna say like an all-star level or like a, Crosby-esque when he was winning all those cups and carrying
Malkin.
Yeah, those
top players.
Yeah, he's one of the top players.
So suddenly Tage gets into the discussion for captain.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He's a leader from everything I read. He talks to the media every single time. All of that kind of stuff. CJ, you've been to a bunch of games. Have you seen the amazingness out of Tage that we think is there?
What I see with him is I just see like I'm trying to think like how to put it. I like just off the rip, he's not like he's faster than everybody else, but from what I see, his stride is just so long that like nobody can keep up with that, and it's just he's gifted physically, you know what I mean? And it's I guess it's the ability to like use those gifts in the way that you need to be successful in hockey. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not just you can be big and you can be athletic, whatever, but to put that all towards something, to be elite at it, to be one of the best in the game at it, that's tough. And you can see it on the ice. He looks. I'm not seeing the leader yet, but I'm seeing the leader through performance. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not really seeing him going up to guys and doing stuff like that, but I'm definitely seeing. I guess you could say he's probably leading through his like all the points he's putting up, and like that probably makes guys realize, hey, I like playing with this guy. I want to play harder when he's here or whatever. So
right. I mean, he obviously elevates the play of the rest of the team. Every single line. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, and in a game where we're down, he'll make one, and then all of a sudden we'll be tied again or whatever, and
right.
It usually starts with him, or he'll be one of the first two trying to come back,
Yeah. Yeah, he is a nice two-way player as well. And I mean, that's part of being 6'7", right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go 200 feet a lot faster when you're 6'7" than you can, when you're, I don't know, Tyson Jost at 5'10" or
Right.
whatever he is. So I don't know. Tyson Jost has been a nice pickup, by the way.
Mhm.
But what? So the Sabres are 4 points out of a playoff spot, and they have 2 games in hand, I think. So they're really even.
Yeah,
I mean, if they won those 2 games,
they'd be
they'd be tied
tied for the second wild card spot.
for the second wild card spot. So, and that's with the level of goaltending being really pretty bad, right?
Yeah.
And now the thing about the goaltending that I think is interesting is that they haven't let in 4 goals now, and which was their crutch, right? I
Mhm.
mean, their crutch was 4. That was
Yeah.
it. If they let in 4, the Sabres weren't winning. For most teams, it's 3, but the Sabres is 4 because they're the top offensive team in the league,
Right.
right? And one of the drawbacks of being a top offensive team in the league is that you lose some defense.
Mhm.
So it's fun when you say, and it's like the Bills. It's fun when you say go outscore them.
Yeah, I mean,
Right?
well, but I mean, that's what it feels like they try to do. Honestly, I mean, all of them. It feels like every single line, everybody wants to score,
Right.
no matter if the score is 9-1 or 1-0. Like
Right.
they have the same level of wanting to go out there.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, I mean, they could get through with this level of goaltending. I mean, you could have.
UPL has come around a little bit.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing I'm starting to notice about UPL. It's like if you play well in front of him, like if you play well defensively, he's fine. When the breakdowns start to happen and guys start to get open and he has to start doing
That's
like
interesting.
wacky, like he has to start like, really putting the team on his back, then that's when I feel like start to crumble for him. But I always feel like the thing I'm starting to notice with him is like if the Sabres are playing well in front of him offensively, as especially defensively, like they're able to take guys out of the play, they're able to leave the lanes wide open so he can see the shot. Like, they're able to do those
Take
little
out
things.
the high risk.
Right.
Yeah.
They're able to do those little things for him. He plays as well as he did the other night, where he looked amazing. And in the end, he ended up holding that win for them. I mean, he came up with some huge
Right.
last second saves on Vegas that were some really high danger chances. He stopped a penalty shot
Right.
later on in that game as well. So
I
he's an
wonder.
interesting case.
It feels like he's been around forever, right? In 5 years from now, we're going to have the same conversation about Devon Levi, right? But it feels like UPL's been around forever, and that's because he was drafted when he was 17, right?
Mhm.
And he's only 23.
Yeah.
Goalies don't get good necessarily until they're older than 23. It's the rare goalie out there who is good and
Mhm.
solid, who you feel like you can count on at a young age.
Which is why I think it's even more impressive with what Craig Anderson was doing before he got hurt.
Right.
At it being 40 plus,
about to be 42. Yes.
Yeah. But I think realistically, if Anderson's able to come back and play at that same level, and they have either Comrie and UPL kind of like rotate, they could fight for that last playoff spot. I mean, this could be a playoff team. I mean, they have some very significant wins, like I was just saying.
You beat Vegas.
Well, you also beat Colorado. You played well against Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
Until Tampa was like we're Tampa Bay, and that's the way it goes. But they have some significant wins, and then when they play bad teams, like against Arizona, they win 5-2, against the Kings 6-0, against the Blue Jackets 9-4.
Right.
Like, they, and even in games where they're playing the bigger teams, they're still competitive.
Right.
That's the thing. they're always consistent. They always seem to be consistently in the game, always, and always be competing and always be trying, even no matter what the score is.
So let me ask another question. Should they speed up the timetable by a year?
I think you could do that very easily by just signing a goalie in the offseason.
Well, that's part of speeding up the timetable. Yeah.
Yeah.
A good goalie, though.
A good goalie for
Right.
like 3 years.
Right.
Because I think you could just keep letting this roster grow, based
But
off
you could
right
add
now,
a top defenseman, say.
they could go out and get Chikrin.
Right.
Well,
and that's what I mean. Like, and it may not be until the draft or something like that, but start dealing your draft picks. Start, moving some of your younger guys who you're starting to see don't fit, and that kind of thing, and holding on to the guys who you say, oh, down the line, these guys are going to help, that kind of thing.
Right.
And, you start making those decisions, and then, you can get a few more established players who might be second line, which bumps whoever down to your third line. And, then you have Cousins passing to whoever, and that kind of thing. Because that was supposed to happen not this season and not next season. Like, next season was supposed to be just adding parts to get
next season was supposed to be
it's your playoff season.
Right, you're competing for a playoff spot.
But and then the season after that was, okay, you're good enough, and the other teams are now old, which is going to be part of it, and you have the guys who are going to take you. But if you speed that up a year now,
because you don't need that many pieces, and there are odd guys out on this roster. Casey Middlestad, Asplund, they got to figure out. They have to figure out what they want to do with these guys. They have to figure out what they want to do with Olofsson. They have to figure out what they want to do with Asplund, Middlestad, Krebs. They have to figure out these guys, because
Middlestad
is the
Cole Beasley of the Sabres. I'm just gonna say that they all love him. He's like Tage's
trade bait.
He's Tage's like favorite sidekick kind of thing, like
Jack and Sam.
Yeah,
that ended so well.
Yeah, but I think this is kind of a different thing, unless
I know.
Unless Middlestat goes really south, but Middlestat has gone. He seems like his attitude is fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's trying, he's putting in the effort. And at some point they may just say, you're not good enough. Right? Like, you don't fit as a fourth line player, and you don't connect with what's happening on the third line, and you're not a top six player.
Right.
Right. So you just don't fit into this puzzle that's the Sabres.
Yeah.
And it's not that you're not good, it's that you might flourish somewhere else.
Yeah.
It's just you don't fit here, because we have guys in Rochester who we need to call up, or we have to sign so and so to become a heavy on the left wing.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And
because I think you could speed it up. You could definitely speed it up by a year. I agree. I think because you could go out and sign a very good goalie. You could get your top defenseman.
I think you'd have to trade for a goalie. I don't think there's one just out there.
Yeah, it depends. This stuff isn't going to happen until the offseason, obviously. But I think
we could see some stuff happen at the trade deadline.
Unless the rest of this year is a dumpster fire and they're terrible, which I don't see happening, then I think, you could seriously go into next year saying, okay, we're not going to be, the idea isn't that we're going to be competing for the playoff spot. The idea is that we are going to make the playoffs.
We're going to make the playoffs.
We are playoff caliber.
Right. We trusted the process.
Yeah.
Right. And now we
It just
burn all.
depends on how the
We
rest
don't
of this year
blink.
go.
I don't know.
But I think at the trade deadline, you can kind of stay quiet unless you're going to make a move for like Chikrin or something like that. Like you're going to make like a big powerhouse move. You could do that at the trade deadline.
they don't
But they don't have it.
have what?
I don't know if they would have enough assets at the trade deadline to be able to make as big of a trade as they would want to. Like I feel like those type of trades happen at the draft or in the off season. Because I mean, like think about Noah Hannafin, right?
Yeah.
He went for the first and like a second and then like another prospect.
Right.
At the trade deadline, the asking was like 2 firsts,
Yeah.
and a second and a third and like a prospect.
Right.
I don't see the Sabres making that unless they full-heartedly believe that this team is ready. But I don't think
they
they're
want to
ready.
make a push this season.
Yeah, but I don't see that happening.
Depends where they are, of course.
Well,
But-
yeah.
But I mean, if they continue to streak, because that was another article I was reading, was maybe the anomaly was the losing streak. Right? Like normally we say the anomaly is when they go on a winning streak.
Right.
But maybe the anomaly was that 10-game losing streak and that they're actually good.
Yeah.
You know? And if that's the case, then awesome. Then you make the move. I mean, you give them what they want for Chikrin but the thing about Chikrin is they don't get the guys who you hear are available. Right? They go out and get somebody who's under the radar and you're like, "Whoa, okay." They just got Alex Tuck, right? Or,
or Joe's.
Right, or right, they actually made the move to pick up Jost off waivers. Like they actually did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that kind of thing. And so it'll
be interesting to see how the next 50 games go.
Yeah.
I mean it'll be a test. I mean you've had a pretty good 32 games.
Yeah.
You've had players flourish, you've had players explode. Your team looks like it's a team. You're playing really solid hockey most nights.
Yeah.
You just hope that it continues.
Yeah. Thoughts, CJ? Where do you think the Sabres are at?
I mean, I like what you said, that maybe they're just a good team and that losing streak was, an anomaly and not something that is going to happen again. Hopefully that's the case. Definitely feel like we're getting back on track. I wouldn't say we're like all the way there yet. Maybe win a few more games, soon, next couple games. And
I think sweeping on the West Coast is pretty impressive.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But we did that earlier in the year also, right?
No, they just did it now. Yeah.
Well, okay, I'm sorry. They swept like a road like 4 road games in a row or something like that. And they lost the 5th one or something it was early in the year. I can't remember. It was like Vancouver that they lost the last one to or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was something like that. But they did have a good West Coast road trip to start the season.
Yeah. But so that's good. That's what I'm saying. Like they're getting it back on track, and that's what I like to see, and that's great. And let's not have a significant drop off for a 10-game period again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'll be happy.
Yeah, I mean, if we just see consistency, I guess.
Yeah. Yep.
I guess the question just becomes when you get all 3 goalies back, how you got to handle that? Because UPL is the one you can send down.
I think they'll probably send UPL down. I would assume.
But that means you better get Comrie playing well.
Well, I think also, though, I wouldn't be surprised if Comrie is on a short leash, though, with if UPL keeps playing this well in his absence. I still think they'll send him down because their one goal for UPL this year is playing time. So like they're not going to want him to have any breaks or anything hanging around. But it'll be interesting. And it'll be an interesting 50 games. We'll keep track of them. We'll be right here for you.
And you.
Anything else for us? Are you about to read this entire book?
It's not that long. I'll skip every other page. It's not that long. So on Christmas Eve, we would go look at lights, right?
Yeah.
Then we would go back to Grandma and Grandpa's house. And we would open a present, and Grandpa would read The Night Before Christmas. So, for all of you viewers who are left, 'twas the night before Christmas when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled down for a long winter's nap, when out on the lawn there arose such a clatter. I sprang from the bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new-fallen snow gave the luster of midday to objects below, when what to my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer. With a little old driver so lovely and quick, I knew in a moment it must be Saint Nick. More rapid than eagles his courses they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name, now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer, now Vixen. On Comet, on Cupid, on Donder and Blitzen. To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall, now dash away, dash away, dash away all. As dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly when they met with an obstacle mount to the sky, so up to the housetop the courses they flew, with the sleigh full of toys and St. Nicholas too, and then in a twinkling I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. 2 pages left.
Okay.
As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was all dressed in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung in his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard on his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke had encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink in his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk, and laying his finger aside of his nose and giving a nod up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to the team, gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, ere he drove out of sight, "Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night."
Yay!
All right.
Good job.
CJ, I hope you have a Merry Christmas. Listeners, viewers, I hope you all have a Merry Christmas. Noah, I'll see you on Christmas,
Maybe.
depending on weather dependent.
Yes.
Yes. And
Yeah, well, if you made it to the end, we appreciate you for making it all the way to here. As always, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Interact with us on Twitter at GameDay716. Have a Merry Christmas. We'll see you next time. And as always, stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy.
Stay sunny, Buffalo.
Merry